Welcome, my friends. Welcome to another brand new video. I am back here in the Yogi statue in front of the Isha Yoga Center. I'm a little bit sick or under the weather, and we are going to talk about how to be peaceful. That seems to be one of my strongest strengths. So I'm looking for people that are willing to learn from this, or people that want to become more peaceful. So I'll share with you some of the techniques or things that I've learned that helped me in this endeavor. Welcome, Shivang. Good to see you again. Good call, good talk yesterday. So, first things first, how to be peaceful. Make it a priority in your life to go to spiritual places. A spiritual place like this is way bigger than you. So, you being here, it is. Okay, let me change the audio so that you can hear me better. All right. So, go to spiritual places. What is the most spiritual place you can go to in your place right now? You can go to a church. Even if you're not Christian, still go to a church. And hopefully the church is done right so that it's very energized. A church, especially the older the church is, the better it is, the more energy it has. So that's one small thing you can do. Go to a church. You don't really have to do anything, actually. Just sit. Sit, pray, meditate. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm this so I could do with some advice. Okay, good. So that's one small advice. Go to a church. The church environment is bigger than you, which means that it will influence you without you having any say in the matter. It's like going into the ocean or a body of water. The water is bigger than you, it surrounds you, it saturates you, and you'll get wet, whether you like it or not. So the water will have an impact on you. Similarly with a church. Not only a church, but there are much more powerful spiritual places like where I am. It's very difficult not to be peaceful when you're in a place like this. So that's step number one. You find spiritual places, like a church. It's very easy to find. Okay, Kate, you went to church this morning, but it didn't help. So that means probably you have taken in bad food. What does this mean? Well, if I say I have a stomach ache, you would then ask me, what did you eat? Probably ate some bad food. Stomach ache caused by bad food. You eat bad food, stomach hurts. When you eat bad food for the mind, your mind hurts. Your mind is crazy and chaotic and going here, going there, going everywhere. So we know what good bad food is for the stomach. What is bad food for the mind? I will tell you what my teacher, Sadhguru, says, the person that built this. He says that bad food is identification with things that you're not. That is what bad food is. And what does it mean? What are you not? Well, you are not your body, first and foremost. You're also not even your mind. You're not your lifestyle. You're not your possessions. You're not any of these things. But you identify as these things. This is mine. When you think this is mine, inevitably you're going to get hurt. It's going to hurt real bad. So, bad food for the mind is identifying with things that you are not. What will be an example? Oh, my house and my job. What am I going to do? How am I going to make money? How am I going to pay the bills? Oh, this and that. Thinking about these things is appropriate, but thinking that it's you, somehow it's yours, it will inevitably lead to pain inside. So that's the second step of how to be more peaceful. You stop eating the bad food. What is the third step of becoming peaceful? Third step of becoming peaceful is you stop eating bad food, Physically, also, processed food, things that are bad, not just the identification, but you stop eating bad food in terms of what you consume physically, what you consume mentally, the movies that you watch, TV series, Instagram reels, actual physical food, people you spend time with, all of that gets consumed by you. What is the statue behind me? It is Shiva, the first yogi. I'm in Coimbatore, India, the Isha Yoga Center. It's Sadhguru's ashram. So if you eat bad food physically, like bad food, let's say you eat a lot of spicy food, your mind is going to become very agitated because that's the food that you consumed. So eating clean, healthy, alive food will do you some good. Not spending time watching the news. That's also good. Watching the news, they force feed you things that make you scared. That's what the news is. That's how they make money. So seeing that, you probably shouldn't watch that either. Scrolling through Instagram won't lead to your peace as well, and so on and so forth. What is a fourth way of becoming peaceful? Is treating your body right and doing yogic practices. What is a yogic practice? Simply put, taking a shower. Taking a shower is one of the simplest yogic practices you can do. And everyone can do this. This is a yogic practice I do daily. And I did this before I came out. I wouldn't think and I wouldn't even dream of going out and doing these live streams or doing anything important without first taking a shower. Not just because of the smell and the physical odors and the grime that gets washed off, that's a bonus. But how it cleanses your energy, that's what I'm interested in. So if I spend 5 hours in the day just sitting and watching TV, and then I want to do something new, I want to cleanse the energy of what I was doing before. A shower is probably the best way of doing that. So I'll take a second break, find a yogi, and think about that and ask your questions. Okay. What about grounding? I find that helps a lot. Kate asks. So grounding is something that I'm doing right now. Why? Because I know it will help me to communicate better. I know it'll help me to express my ideas, and it'll create the right energy for all of you to see and perceive. So absolutely, grounding is like seventh on the list. Skip a little bit forward, but absolutely, you connect yourself to nature. Walk barefoot, like I just showed you. Exactly. Get the earth between your toes, 100%. So, what other tips that you can use to make yourself more peaceful? Like I said, shower. One of the best yogic practices. You shower, you cleanse the energy off of your body, and you're ready to do the next thing in your day. Another thing you can do is this is becoming more refined. I'm not sure if I can go into this or I should go into this. There's more course things. Good morning, good evening, Shiva. Are you able to speak on what it means to restrain from sexual activity? That's a great question, and I think I'll go into that because sexual activity is something that we're all engaged in and we're doing pretty much constantly. How does sexual activity relate to being peaceful? Does it have anything to do with that? And the answer is yes, of course, in a very big way. So if you overindulge in this act, especially with sexual orgasms, your brain and your mind is going to be depleted of dopamine. It'll be more difficult for you to go and replenish that, make yourself happier, which will inevitably lead to agitation. So, if you want to be really spiritual, if you want to be really peaceful as well, stay away from sexual orgasms. At least we can say maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that. You can still enjoy the act of sex and sexuality and even indulge in that. But the act of orgasms is something that is designed for making children. And if you overdo it, your brain is going to be depleted. You won't be as happy, that's for sure. So, many things that are coming into my mind that are very subtle, but I want to talk about the coarsest things. What is the coarsest, most obvious things that you can avoid to make yourself more peaceful today? How you make money. That's a big one. How people earn their income and their livelihood. It's a big one. So I think most people are doing things that are not unethical, but some people are doing things that are unethical. Let's say you're not providing that much value to people, but you're taking a lot. It's kind of a scam thing. You want to take a look at that, how you're earning your income. Because if it's not noble, if wise people would shun it, if wise people would say this is the wrong thing to do, then probably you should stay away from it. The actions that we do to others, especially when it hurts others, it creates a lot of turmoil inside. Kate says she hasn't had okay. So if you haven't had sexual relationships with people for 4 years and you're restless because of that, it may be that. But that doesn't mean you should go and jump into the first person that you see and jump in bed with them. You should harness this energy. This energy naturally wants to find expression through the genital organs. But if you don't allow that, well, then it'll just continue building up. If you do something with it, like if you go find a hobby or do any kind of creative activity, then it could be used up in that way. It can be channeled, like I'm doing right now on this live stream. But if you don't, then you'll just become agitated and tense. And you'll think this is the reason for my problem. It is not. So, the ultimate way to become peaceful is to meditate and to practice yoga, to become in union with the universe, and to become wise. When you can see what's happening in front of you, you don't make mistakes when you're walking. But if I'm blind or if it's pitch black, I'm going to hurt myself. So, the wiser you become, the easier it is for you to live life peacefully, happily, and blissfully. Shivanga donates 3 Sadhguru dollars. There are many drivers. Pick one, don't become one. That sounds like a wise saying, but you'll have to explain that or expand that. Note to self. Gotcha. Thank you for your donation. So, being peaceful, my friends, is the first step to spirituality. It's not hard. Being peaceful is also the natural state of your mind. You don't have to do much to become peaceful. You just have to remove the causes that are making you not peaceful. You're actively consuming bad food and your stomach hurts. But stomach pain is not natural. If you just fast for some time or eat clean, healthy fruits, for example, your stomach will be peaceful. It'll be very happy. Same thing with your mind. So we have to investigate things that are in your life that are making you not peaceful. What is it that you're doing and what kind of environments are you in that make you agitated, that make you hot in your mind? So we collectively, my friends, as a whole, as a group of individuals, have to become more peaceful, have to become wiser. And the world is needing us to do that. The more peaceful we are, the less we hurt others. And that is in high demand right now, not causing pain to others with the wars that are happening and so on and so forth. Buffalo Moose donates £5. Thank you very much for your donation. Highly appreciate it. I like your personality, bro. Do you do your own thing? Thank you very much. I'm here sharing my insights and wisdom on things that relate to peace. Someone's asking why I'm skinny. I don't eat that much, I guess. KK asks, can you speak on the discipline to be peaceful when being tempted or agonized by someone? So all these things that I just said about peace is one thing. But what about someone does something that angers you, right? I'm sure you're not unique to that. People have done that to you and people have done that to me. You're living out your life and someone does something and it really agitates you. It really gets you angry. What do? Do you let go of your anger and share it with them and get angry? It feels good to do that in the time. Do you just express your anger? You don't bottle it up? Because people say that if you bottle up, it might not be so good. Well, the wisest man that I've encountered, at least, that's right now alive, Sadhguru, the person that built this statue and the person that built this yoga center, Sadhguru says that when you're angry, there's only one thing you should do. You should sit down, close your eyes, close your mouth, and just sit there for some time until the anger gets resolved. The worst thing you can do is start speaking when you're angry, isn't it? Isn't it so? Haven't you noticed that? When you become angry and you speak, it almost always turns badly. It'd be rare if you acted out of anger and it somehow turned into a positive situation. That's like, whoa, that's really? Wow, that's impressive. That's rare. And Kate, thank you for the £2 donation. Thank you for your donation. And she says, peace and love. Peace and love to you as well, Kate. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for your donation. So when we act out of anger, it usually destroys our lives, destroys our relationships. We say things that we don't want to say. So when Sadhguru first said this, just sit down, close your mouth, close your eyes, do nothing. I was a little bit reluctant to this. Sometimes it feels good to release your anger, but anger being released is not a good thing. So you sit down, close your eyes, close your mouth, and just wait. Let the emotion pass away. And then act out of reason, act out of rationale. That's way better than anything else you can do. So if you have a super chat to send me via questions, I'll happy to read your questions via super chat. Otherwise, we're going to continue. Maybe you have some suggestions, my friends, how you become more peaceful. We'd love to hear it. Hello. And becoming peaceful is natural. It's a natural state of mind. Another way of becoming peaceful is watching spiritual teachers and watching spiritual talks. This right now is a spiritual talk. And if you watch this, I'm sure you'll become more peaceful. The energy that's here, the way I'm communicating, I'm walking barefoot. All of these things will help you. Another simple way of becoming more peaceful is treating animals. I know this from inside. When I was treating animals badly, I wasn't peaceful. People might be asking, why did you treat animals badly? Kick them, slap them, kill them, use them in any way? Yes, I did. I ate them. They were on my dinner plate. And from an early age, I knew this was wrong. But the social conditioning was so strong that it overrid my own intelligence, my own thinking. Maybe everyone's doing it, maybe it's okay. But it didn't feel good inside. The Buddha often talks about walking through the earth being blameless, meaning wise men should be able to look at you, look at your behavior, look at your conduct, and say that you are blameless. This person has no blame. You can't really say there's anything at fault with this person. That's how you want to live. That's how you want to walk. The fools, of course, will always try to blame you. They'll blame you for everything, for anything. They blame Jesus. They blame the Buddha. They blame Sadhguru. You can't do anything about that. But wise men, they should see you walking through the planet, and you should walk in a way that's blameless. That's how guaranteed you'll become peaceful. KK with coming in with the $10 super chat. Nice yellow or golden color. Thank you very much, KK, for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moderating my channel. Thank you, Shiva, for your wise words. Can you explain the energy that comes with being spiritual? Like, how does becoming peaceful affect humanity as a whole, as a collective? Certainly. And we have another super chat. I'll get back to that. Jacqueline with 14 Australian dollars with a gold and yellow super chat. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Always good to see a familiar face. That's the best way. What's the best way to avoid being provoked by someone, especially if it's someone in an authoritative position and we can't just be silent, such as at work? Thanks. Absolutely. That's a good question. I'll answer that one first and I'll go back to KK. So, how do you avoid being provoked? I think most people think that if someone does something, if someone pokes you or someone maybe insults you or does bad things to you physically, then you react and your reaction is justified. And your reaction is um, guaranteed or unavoidable. Because, of course, you make me angry. You make me angry, Jacqueline. You said this or you said that. You make me angry. And it's in our speech as well, it's in our words. So this leads the mind, or at least leads you to conclude that someone can make you angry. But in fact, when you look deeper, you yourself make yourself angry. No one can ever in the history of the universe has ever made anyone angry. How do I know this? Well, I'm standing here, and let's say you're standing here as well. Or Jacqueline's standing here as well. And then a third person, KK, says something to me, or says something to the both of us. You're stupid, or you're ugly. I get insulted, I get offended, I become rageful, and Jacqueline becomes very peaceful, elated, and happy. So we can see from that very simple example that it's our responses that makes us angry, not the things that are said. If something was said, it would make everyone angry because it would be objective. But our subjective experience is what makes us angry. That's the first thing. Every time you get angry, it's your fault. You're the reason why you become angry. There's something inside of you that got agitated. So how do you resolve that? How do you avoid that from happening? You have to see it for what it is, just as an objective reality that someone says words, and this is the sensation or the emotion that you have that came out. But you don't have to act on it. You can observe it. Like when hunger arises, you can observe the hunger. When the sensations for sexuality arises, you can just observe it's sexuality arising, the desire for lust is arising. And similarly, when someone says something that triggers anger in you, when you get angry, it's just a sensation. So the most important thing that you have to cultivate is a balanced state of mind. Balance. Something that I learned from the 10-day Vipassana course that I've attended recently by S.N. Goenka, I recommend you try it, by the way, is that you need to develop equanimity. I've never even heard this word before, equanimity. What does this word mean? It means having a balanced state of mind. When something good, in quotes, happens to you, you just remain balanced. Okay, something pleasant has happened. When something bad, in quotes, happens, you observe something unpleasant has happened. But you don't react to either one of those. You maintain balance. You maintain a peaceful state of mind. So that is how you overcome the temptation to act when you're getting agitated. And this is a practice that has to be done. So if you go online to a website called dhamma.org, DHAMMA.org, you can sign up for a 10-day silent Vipassana meditation retreat near you. And this is how you train your mind to not react to stimulus or outside objects. This is a training. This is not something you can understand logically, although I'm explaining to you logically, that's the first step. So let me know, Jacqueline, if that is sufficient, if that answers your question. So KK asked, how does energy relate to being spiritual? And how does one becoming peaceful affect humanity as a whole collectively? That's a fantastic question because that relates to what I'm doing here, what I'm practicing here. And what this whole space is, the Isha Yoga Center. We are like a biological entity, we are, but we are a biological battery. And we give off energy. Being a battery, we affect and influence people. This can, of course, be proven by science. When you walk into a house and someone is already there, you feel their vibe. And think, oh, this person has a bad vibe. I say have a bad vibe. Because maybe they've done actions in their life that creates unhealthy energy. It's emanating outwards. It's impacting. This can be very easily proven. This can be very easily observed as well. So Sadhguru says that if 1% of the population was practicing meditation, a certain type of meditation, all of the world problems would be solved. Just 1%. Because that 1%, if they really enhance their spiritual light, they will impact 10 people or more in front of them. That's how strong you are. That's how powerful you are. Just like one light bulb in the darkness will illuminate everything. That's how it is. That's how light works. And spiritual energy can literally be looked at as light. You are cultivating light. Light in terms of prana. So you saw me yesterday eating this fruit, very high in prana. It is literally light, like white light. That's how I see it. And I think that's how it is objectively. The more of this light you can cultivate, the more enlightened you are. And you walking in front of 10 people that are just ignorantly living their lives, doing bad, unwholesome deeds, it will shake them up. It'll tinkle their pineal gland. They'll become awakened, at least to some extent. So I will take a 15-second break. You ask your questions, and I will answer them. So, mm, mm, another very powerful way of becoming peaceful is sounds, using the right sounds. We are making sounds constantly all the time. We have to become aware of how the sounds impact us because it does have an impact. When I say sounds, I don't mean words. Words are more human made, but sounds is objective. Sound vibration has an impact on your body. And the intention with a sound that you make also carries the most meaning. So there are certain sounds that you can chant that will instantly bring peace into your body. For example, the sound uh, will just relax your mind. You can download the Sadhguru app and go through a guided meditation today for free. So chanting the right sounds will not only make you peaceful, but it will change the very chemistry of your body. It will change your blood even. This could be scientifically proven. The sounds you make will change your chemistry, and as a result, it will change your mind. So, with this being said, my friends, introduce mantras into your life. Introduce mantras in the background. Introduce mantras with you actually physically saying them or singing them. That will be very, very good for you. Very wonderful. Yes. Shiva mantras are fantastic. As we've talked before, becoming more peaceful requires you to come in contact with nature. And the bigger the body of nature, the bigger the body of water is, the more conducive for your spiritual growth. For example, the ocean. You coming in contact with the ocean does huge wonders for you. Going to a lake is good enough as well, but not as good as the ocean. Going out and standing in the rain is coming in contact with nature. Nature is falling on you. Going to the forest. These nature bodies are so large that you are like an insect crawling on them, and they change you from the outside in. So being in a forest, like where I am, in a way, you can see the forest behind me, that energy changes me. And I plan on going up this mountain. I'll be surrounded by the trees, surrounded by nature. So, my friends, take some time to go out into a forest near you, relax, spend a few minutes there, and your mind will naturally go into a state of equilibrium. If you have a question to ask, send it in the form of a super chat. Good morning. And my friends, all these things that I said are good. Shivan donates 3 Sadhguru dollars, Singaporean dollars, I know, but it's fun to say Sadhguru. Haidakan Baba taught constant, fast repetition. So I think you mean mantras. Yes, mantra will change your mind. It will change the chemistry of your blood. Your body will change the energy of your body. So mantras are something very important. In fact, I don't know if you can hear you. I'm sure you can't, but in the background, in the temple in front of the Adiyogi, there's a mantra that's constantly playing. Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya. That is a mantra. And why? Because it reverberates energy. Creates a conducive space in the environment. People that sit and meditate there will naturally go into a state of ease and peace. If you really want to become peaceful and also spiritual, you have to take on a spiritual practice. Spiritual practice has to be done continuously, every day. And over a long period of time, these spiritual practices that you do will create a suitable state for your mind. It will create peace. It will remove the bad energy or the negative energy in your mind that is causing you unhappiness. Tomo Paris donates $2 Australian. Thank you very much, Tomo. And he says, prayer works. Absolutely. Prayer is also a powerful way to connect with the divine. For prayer to work, you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to let go of yourself, shed yourself. I think maybe this is why the word prayer is similar to the word prey, like being a prey animal, because you put yourself in a state of submission and a state of surrender. Whatever God wishes for me, that let it be done, and hear my desires as well. So as you dissolve yourself, something much higher can come into you. So, like I said, we have to treat animals in the right way. I heard a sound behind me. I thought it was a dog running towards me. And I wanted to pet the dog because dogs make me peaceful. But if we eat animals, that will not create conducive states in our minds to develop peace. The animals do not live in peace. They lived in suffering and spiritual poverty. They were killed, and we eat that product. That will not be conducive for peace. KK donates another $10. Thank you very much, KK. I appreciate you being here. And KK says, what can you say to those who tire from waiting for results they're looking for? How can someone stay disciplined and persistent without getting discouraged along the journey? I think the answer to that question is you have to see the results happening today. So if you're doing something that, let's say, a spiritual practice or a job, the results have to be seen here and now. If you can't see the results of even small actions, it will be very difficult for you to perceive or see what can happen in 10 years or 20 years of doing this. So that's the value of following the laws of nature. You can see the results instantaneously. If you start generating loving kindness in your heart, you'll feel good instantly. You don't have to think about 10 years from now, will this result in favorable manifestations? It feels good here and now. When you generate anger and negativity, it feels bad here and now, right away. If you meditate, you become calm, it gives benefits here and now. So I guess to answer your question is you have to perceive the benefits of your actions instantaneously. And if there are no perceived benefits of the actions that you're doing, maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe it's the wrong thing to do. Maybe it won't have any fruit. Unless you know for certain it will, then you got to keep going. And like from the words from my wise master, Sadhguru, he says that, you know, dumb people, if they do things they don't like, they go to jobs they dislike, they do things that they dislike. Smart people, they do things that they like to do. They go out and they get things that they're passionate about and they do things that they're passionate about. And they enjoy their life to some extent. But truly wise people, geniuses even, they do things that are needed, only that are needed. So what is needed? Maybe what's needed is doing actions that maybe you don't see many benefits in right now, but you know it's needed, it's required, and you don't even like to do it. You're not passionate about it, but you do it anyway. But why? Because it's needed. So doing what's needed is absolutely essential. And this was a totally different this changed my mind in a big way because following the personal development scene, everyone says that you should do what you're passionate about. And absolutely, following your passion is really good. But sometimes following your passion is not enough. You have to do what's needed. You have to do what's needed. Sadhguru does what's needed. He does so many things that we can't see behind the scenes. He feeds villagers. He provides schooling and medicine for uh, people in India that can't afford it for free. So many things he's done because they're needed, not because he has any passion towards it, but because they're needed for human growth. So we have to do things that are needed. So maybe the things that you're doing right now are needed, and that's reason enough for you to continue because it's needed. Maybe you can go into that further, provide some examples. We can expand on that. Um, Jacqueline, those are just kind of going into semantics now. Both with prayer and meditation or mantra, you have to become peaceful inside. That's the first step. If you can make yourself pleasant inside, that's even better. So both, if you're praying, if you're singing mantras, just a basic sense of peace is a requirement. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. So what's needed, my friends? And I want you to take you on this mental experiment. What's needed most for people's peace? Is it food? Getting enough food? Is it ending the wars? Is it providing a shelter and housing for people? Giving them the right clothes? Yes, all those things are absolutely essential. But what is the most essential? What will lead to the most amount of positive benefits for people's lives? Something simple we can do that leads to the ultimate blessings. Maybe you can think about that. Maybe you can answer that. And I'll take a little quick break. 5-second break, and I'll come back with your. So, the most positive thing we can do to make the world a spiritual place is to create consecrated spaces. I'm living right now in a consecrated space. A consecrated space is what you see behind me. It's energized with life force energy. Hi, Dekan. The more you F around, the more you find out, Shivang says, with 3 Sadhguru dollars. Thank you, Shivang. Yes, I think that's the laws of nature also, not just hi, Dekan. If you F around, you will find out instantly. If you break the laws of nature, you will get hurt. And yeah, it's not going to be very peaceful. So, a consecrated space is a place that's been energized with human life force energy. Maybe you can perceive this. I'm sure you can if you're here. If you go to, let's say, a dance studio or a nightclub, or maybe a kitchen where people are alive and things are very engaging and exuberant, you can feel a vibe. Oh, this is very positive, very pleasant. That is a start of consecration. Consecration can become so intense that when you go to a place, and if you have a certain receptivity, you will just start shedding tears, not out of sadness, but just out of bliss, just out of intensity of experience. Sadhguru says that a person cries not because of pain or joy or anything else. Tears come only because your experience has gone to a certain threshold. It's gone beyond a certain threshold. When pain becomes severe pain, you cry. When joy becomes severe joy, intense joy, you cry. When bliss becomes extreme bliss, cry. So may we all shed tears of bliss and ecstasy, my friends. How is it consecrated? That's a good question. So our human body is consecrated with the 7 chakras that keep this being alive. If you have more than enough energy inside, you can send it into a rock or a stone or a statue like this. If you pay attention to the statue, you can see that it's not just a regular statue. It's made out of the same materials, it's steel and so on and so forth, but it has a quality. Can you perceive the quality that it has? It has a kind of pleasant quality. The reason is because this place has been consecrated. This whole space has been consecrated. It's been made alive with human energy. And it's a perpetual energy machine now. You can sit next to this temple, next to this statue, and you can just become blissful, peaceful. It's very easy to be relaxed and in a state of ease here because so much energy is towards that direction. So if we make these temples, if we make consecrated spaces for the entire human population, feeling sadness, feeling depressed will be a thing of the past. It won't be at all happening. That will be the worst of our problems. In a space like this, in the space of the Isha Yoga Center, it is just like heaven. We're in a heavenly place. So I wish for us to make this consecrated spaces throughout the entire world and for us to live that way. If you have questions, please send a super chat and I will read it out loud. Another way of making yourself peaceful and blissful is learning the inner mechanics of the body. There is something inside of the head that is called the pineal gland. Thank you, KK. The pineal gland sits in the center of the head, in the center of the brain. And the pineal gland is responsible for secreting things that help with your sleep and so on. I don't know the exact science of it, but I know the inner science, what it does inside. The pineal gland is like a glass or a cup filled with ecstasy, filled with the juices of life. If you just keep it in the glass, nothing will happen. It'll just stay there. You'll go on trying to get happier in other ways. But if you start tipping the glass, the juices of ecstasy will flow into your body. First, it'll flow into your brain, and it will flow through the rest of your body. You'll become effortlessly ecstatic. That's what we're all looking for. In fact, the statue represents this very well. So you can see the person's head is tilted up. The third eye is represented with the white ash on his head, on his forehead, and he's intoxicated. Not from smoking or drinking or anything. He's intoxicated from his own brain chemistry. You can make that happen. I can make that happen. I want to make that happen more and become more intense and more blissful. So, learning the inner mechanics of your mind, you can subtly manipulate your brain in a way that will cause more peace, that will cause more bliss, that will cause more ecstasy. And it can be done very easily. You can tip the glass of ecstasy from inside of your mind, and it will go and make you ecstatic. Absolutely, Jem. Subscribe if you're watching this. So, for that to happen, meditation practice is needed. We need to meditate. And we have to become more sensitive with our body. We have to see what things around us are doing, what animal flesh is doing to us. When we eat animal flesh, pay attention what it's doing. First, what it tastes like as it goes into the stomach, after a few hours, what are the emotions that come up? What are the physical sensations that arise? Has your mind changed in any way? If you're answering no, no, it hasn't changed in any way, I don't believe you. And more sensitivity is needed. I can sense the quality of a banana that enters my stomach after 2 hours. I can see what it's doing to me. I can feel how it's impacting my body. Similarly, for sure, with more coarse food like animals or meat. So sensitivity is needed for you to perceive how this body works. Because through your body, you become ecstatic. Through your body, you become peaceful and happy. Learning how this machine functions, like learning how a car functions, for example, you can drive it well. If you learn how this human body functions, you can drive it well as well. You can become very effortlessly at ease all the time. So, a wise man once said, have you ever read the user's manual to this human being? This is arguably the most complex living organism or object that we know of in the universe. It's the human body. But such a complex thing. Have you ever spent time just reading the basics, reading the user's manual? Well, the answer is no. So Sadhguru says that. Sadhguru gives this example or analogy. Well, you may be asking, where is the user's manual? Sadhguru says the user's manual is inside of this. You have to pay attention. You have to observe. You have to feel. You have to make yourself more receptive and more sensitive, more aware. Spirituality largely is about awareness, being able to intake more input, more stimulus, and perceive what's happening. So I've been sitting for too long, spine is tight, legs are loose. It's causing tension in the back, in my lower back. So I'm aware of that. I can perceive that. I can see what is causing that. The Buddha said also that life is about cause and effect. Every effect that is in your life, a headache, for example, has a cause. There's something that you did or something that has happened that makes you have a headache. And what causes do you have to set in motion for you to become peaceful and ecstatic? That's something you have to pay attention to. That is something you have to investigate for yourself. If you have a negative effects in your life, like things are not going your way, you feel bad, or you feel lonely, or you feel X, Y, and Z, what are the causes that have been set in motion that make you feel this way? That is another thing you have to pay attention to. I'm vegetarian. I've been for a long time. Vegan, I found it's difficult, but I'm slowly switching to it like almond milk. Nice. That is the right step. Almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, delicious, delicious milks. And don't require anyone else to suffer. So if you have questions, my friends, send it as a super chat. We're one more from having fireworks, completing our goal. So another thing of that makes you peaceful is like, for example, facial hair. Some insecure men here are saying for me to shave my head multiple times or shave my beard. I have a beard not because I chose, but because it grows. I don't know if you knew that, but facial hair grows on all men. Some men choose to take a razor to the neck and chop it off. So don't ask me why I have a beard. It's natural. Why do you shave it off? That's a question. If you cut off your fingers, that'll be weird because it's not natural. Why'd you cut off your fingers? Everyone else is doing it. Oh, okay, buddy. You need psychiatric evaluation. So I have facial hair and I have a beard as well because first and foremost, my body grows it. I don't have anything to do with stopping my body's natural progress or growth. And also it has an impact on my spirituality. This Once you become more sensitive, you can perceive even what facial hair is doing, what nails are doing, how nails are impacting your energy, what they're designed for. Everything in this body becomes useful. Nature hasn't given you a single thing that's not useful here. Oh, the appendix is useless. You just get rid of it. No, there's a reason and a design for this whole structure. So look at yourself in the mirror if you're a man and ask yourself a serious question. Why do you shave your beard? And then I'm sure instantaneously some answers are going to come up, socially conditioned answers. See if they're good enough. See if they're a good enough justification. Hair helps with stability. I think that's why, maybe a small reason why women are more stable than men. Because women don't destroy themselves. Wonder Mouse is from the UK. Candy floss is cotton candy. It's good. It's very sweet. There's also a reason why yogis, wise sages, and masters all have facial hair and long hair, long beard. Does it mean to say that if you grow long hair and long beard, you'll become wise? No. Many fools are with long hair and long beard. But what is the reason why they have that? Well, the reason is it helps you, it enhances you, it adds to you, to your competence, adds to your skill in a certain way. So you don't want to throw away value. Why would I do that? Shiva, would you ever consider doing a live yoga practice, yoga challenge perhaps? Absolutely. When I go back to Canada, we will do live energetic processes, helping people to transition through a lot of things. Who is that Sach? Also asks. This is Rusa. This is Shiva, the first yogi. the being that brought spirituality to human civilization, the person that has mastery over his body and mind. And the qualities is what you should pay attention to, not necessarily the history of this man. The quality is he's intoxicated by himself, not with any drugs. He's still peaceful. He's exuberant. These are the three qualities that the designer wanted to impart. Is he a man? Yes. You may be asking why he has no beard. I think that the designer, Sadhguru, wanted to make him more um, approachable to both men and women. So he made him kind of half-half. What is kind of, yeah. So where you position metal in your body also has an impact of how peaceful you are, how ecstatic you are, how much discomfort you have. There are places in the body that you should never put metal on, never under any circumstance. One of them is the thumbs. You want to avoid putting metal on your thumbs, like rings, etc. Another place you should avoid putting metal on is your big toes. Another place you should avoid putting metal on is your belly button. You should never pierce your belly button. Why? Well, for the thumbs, very simply, it draws negative energy and you have no way of stopping it. The thumb is very insecure in that way. Better to put it in the other four fingers. Same thing with the toes. But the belly button is where one of the most important parts of your energy body is the maintenance center that sits here. This space below the belly button, 1 inch below the belly button, the navel, is what is like the junction box of your house that connects all the electrical wires. They all meet here. Thousands, tens of thousands, they all meet here. If you put metal here, you will conduct energy and it will disturb the flow of the flow that the body wants to go through. Or you can disturb this flow. You can disturb these pathways. You can disturb the wirings, the energetic wirings. And it can lead to diseases that just spring out of nowhere. And the doctors won't know. The doctors only read books. Oh, the book says nothing, so it must be something else. You have 10 months to live. And then when you go past 10 months, we can't explain that. The doctors are some of the stupidest people alive are doctors, in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's what I've observed. Doctors and scientists, some of the stupidest people alive. If you're a scientist, oh, buddy, you're a goner. And also, if you're a doctor, you bring up some intuitive aspect of life, like the vibes of the trees and has an impact on you. That's what? I'm a scientist. There's no science behind that. Oh, buddy. Keep keep reading those books, buddy. Keep reading those books. So Sadhguru says that the first yogi, this guy, he was 9 feet tall. When he walked through South India back 80,000 years ago, where he left, he was the same height as a horse, or he was twice the height of an average woman. So if you practice it, but if you pierce it, but then piercing out later on. Took the piercing out later on, then if there was damage done, then it will slowly repair itself, and then it will just go back to normal. So better you not have piercings there, according to yoga, not according to the fashion. According to fashion, it looks good. Uh, these are the things also they shouldn't believe. oh, Shiva said this, so I should take it out or I should do another. No, something like that. This isn't how it works. I don't even know for sure. But these are things you have to pay attention to. Like when Sadhguru first said not to put metal on your thumbs, I understood. He didn't give a reason why. But I paid attention. What happens? This is one of the most unsecure places, at least thumb-wise or finger-wise. These fingers have their own kind of natural defense. The thumb has nothing. So if you put metal around it, metal naturally conducts electricity. It conducts subtle energy. And energy will just go into your body without you being able to do anything. Can't stop it. So if you go with a thumb ring into a negative place, you're asking for trouble. So this is what yoga is about, my friends. This is what spirituality is about. We have to dive deep into ourselves. We have to become more aware, more sensitive, more receptive to life, to see what food is doing to us, what an apple is doing to us. Are tattoos okay, though? From a yogic standpoint, tattoos aren't some big deal. Maybe physiologically, they're not the best because it goes into your skin and um, it absorbs sunlight, it gets hot. It could be trouble after that, but from a yogic standpoint, there's no, at least from what I've heard, tattoos aren't spoken about. Yep. Tattoo ink plungs lymphatic. Yeah, that could happen. Tattoos look cool, but are they really needed? I thought about getting tattoos, but to go through the hassle, it's not worth it in my opinion. So another way of becoming more peaceful is getting enough sunlight. I know for a fact most people are not getting enough sunlight. Why? Because, well, I don't get enough sunlight. Getting enough sunlight is hard, especially if you're living in the West. Where do you go out to get sunlight? Do you have a house that has a backyard with sunlight shining through? That's good. Do you have a window that if you can open, you get sunlight? Maybe. Otherwise, you have to go to some park. So sunlight is essential. Some people will say, "Oh, sunlight it'll cause some kind of a disease." All right, sure. If you get too much, if you get burned over consistently, sure, it can do some damage. But sunlight is essential for your growth, for your well-being. So go completely naked, go lay down, enjoy the sun as much as you can, ideally in later parts of the day or early parts of the day, and absorb sunlight. Sunlight is the first form of energy. It is the strongest, most powerful form of energy. The fruits that we eat, the food that we eat, it absorbs sunlight. That's why it is food. But cut out the middleman to a large extent and go to the source, which is sunlight. So I know what kind of a huge impact sunlight makes, and I want to get enough sunlight. How my mind feels after getting enough sunlight, how much energy I have, how much clarity I have as well, how lack of clarity I have when there's no sunlight. It's really quite difficult to just even stay alive. When you're in the wintertime in Canada, things are dark, barely any sunlight, you can't go out and enjoy that. It becomes depressing. So you need to take vitamin D. I do take that, but not the best. Sunlight is absolutely essential, essential. What other yogic tips and techniques can you do? Gem, okay. I'll read it later. Do you feel happier traveling compared to at home? I do feel happier being in a place like this, but traveling I don't necessarily like. And any place outside of Canada is pretty good, especially tropical. So my plan is to go to a tropical place permanently, live there. There are things you can consume that yogis consume here in the Isha Yoga Center that Sadhguru talks about, which is neem and turmeric. When combined with these two things, you combine neem and turmeric, It cleanses your digestive tract in a way that it kills anything, any pathogens that are not in the body. Largely, it kills pretty much everything. These two combinations were taken when taken on empty stomach. It kills all the candida and parasites and anything else that is not needed. Thank you for the gold coin. So you can buy this on Amazon. Buy some pills of neem, buy some pills of turmeric, and if you want also a little cheat code, you take the pill of turmeric, you maybe lick it or soak it in water for a second, and then you dip it into black pepper because black pepper allows turmeric to be absorbed 2000% more. So once you take these, it'll just cleanse you out. It'll kill everything. That's unhelpful. And this comes from Sadhguru. Sadhguru talks about this. So everyone in the yoga center eats this daily. Absolutely. One of the This is like scientifically proven, or some science says this. One of the best jobs for you, or even hobbies, is gardening. The most healthiest for you, the one that will causes the least amount of stress, the most amount of pleasantness and peace, is gardening. So gardeners are working with the soil. Their hands and feet are connected to the ground. It really changes you. So if you have a small garden, which I do back in Canada, I will be sure to help my mom plant trees and flowers, and I want to do that. And I'll do that on a live stream. When I go back to Canada, we will do some energy processes that will guide you through resolving your inner conflict and inner turmoil and getting you more peaceful and allowing more spiritual energy to come into you. So for that to happen, that requires an energy source, which I have and I know how to access and connect to. And we'll send some positive energy your way, my friends. So subscribe. Stay tuned. Weed is not a positive pranic food. Weed is a very negative pranic food, very damaging to your health as well. So you should stay away. Yes, I am unbanned. I'm unbanned from the ashram. Namaste, namaste. I changed the audio filter. What is your contribution regarding spreading Lord Shiva's devotion in foreign countries? This is right now my contribution. People are watching me all across the world, English speaking people. And I'm sure a lot of people here have never even heard the word Shiva before they came in contact with me or seen a place like this. So I'm happy to make that contribution. And yeah, let me know if you've ever heard Shiva or knew anything about Hinduism before you came in contact with me. So I'm spreading the good word. Before you know it, I'll be knocking on your door. Have you heard the good word of Shiva Shambho? Absolutely. I'm glad you enjoy it. What we are going to do now is go a little bit closer. The sun has settled. We're going to sit as close as we can to the statue and really absorb the energy. So if you have any questions, my friends, please send it as a super chat. Look, we're going to see cows as well. I'm going to approach the cows, see if hopefully they don't stab me. This is Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore, India. It is Sadhguru's yoga center, ashram. Very beautiful place. Sacred cows. Look at this. Hey, buddy. It's a shame that people eat them. It's really a shame. Yes, I can consecrate things. It's not difficult. It's quite easy. But to the degree that it's done, to the intensity, that's what's relevant. That's what's important. That's where the skill gap is. So we are one away from completing our goal here. And super chats. And we are in front of the Adiyogi or the video game. I'm gonna sit down in a corner and talk.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த முன்னாடி வந்து 5300 அது பின்னாடி இருக்கிறது எவ்வளவு?
Much better.
எங்களுக்கு அந்த ஹாபிங் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஹாபிங் கியர் ஹாபிங் பவர் ப்ளஸ் அதை கூட அந்த வேலை கிட்ட பிடிச்சிட்டு
They're just going to the temple that's in front, taking pictures, enjoying the vibe. Enjoying the vibe. Fish is the best meat for the fish using it to swim. That's what meat is designed, is muscle to help the organism to move around, not for you to kill it and eat it. So leave the animals alone. There's a way you can sit, my friends, that will make you naturally peaceful. And I will show you what is the best way to sit, how a yogi sits. So if you sit in this way, if you're doing work, if you're doing something casual, well, I'm not going to tell you what it's doing, although I will, but feel yourself what it's doing. So you take your left foot, this is my left foot, and you basically sit down on top of your left foot. And your heel is supposed to come in contact with your perineum. Perineum is the place between your genital organ and the anal outlet. So if you sit with your left heel touching the space, everything just kind of becomes balanced. Rest in peace to the animal that you're eating. Thank you, Jacqueline, for completing our goal. Thank you for the $3 Australian. Thank you for the donation. Thank you so much for this experience. You're welcome, Jacqueline. I'm happy to be of service. I'm happy that you're benefiting from this. This is part of the reason why I came to India. This is a big reason why. It's a big reason why I'm here, actually, physically in this location. It's can bring a lot of benefit to people's lives. Omega-3 is not difficult to obtain. Do you know where fish get omega-3? I bet you didn't know that fish get omega-3 from plants, from ocean plants. So instead of eating their dead bodies, we should eat ocean plants as well, like kelp, seaweed. Those contain omega-3, omega-3 and omega-6. That's where the fish get it from, so it might as well, it's probably good enough for us. There's no need to kill animals to get any kind of mineral or vitamin. Hemp seeds, exactly. One thing I will do when I go back to Canada is the first thing I'll do when I go back, I'll go on Amazon and I'll buy spirulina, the highest quality spirulina that I have. I saw it recently on a YouTube reel, and something about it just spoke to me. Like, this is what I need. It's one of the highest protein sources per gram or per size on Earth, even, I think. And yeah, there's omega-3 in plants, sea plants for sure. So I'll be eating spirulina a lot. It just feels like Sadhguru is saying, Sadhguru's energy is in that food for me to eat it. That's one benefit of going back to Canada, is you can afford to buy food like that. Another food that I want to buy is hemp seeds, which naturally that was in my house pretty much every day. I was eating hemp seeds daily, and I'll make sure to continue eating that daily. Smoking is not a good thing. Do you grow the hemp seeds? No. I bought them from Costco. Costco hemp seeds is where it's at. Uh, organic hemp seeds. So being in India is good, but realizing the benefits of Canada and the Western countries, you can eat some of the highest quality food that are imported, like hemp seeds, like spirulina, which is very difficult to get here. So that will keep me healthy. That will keep me alive. One other food that I will be sure to eat is raw peanuts. Ideally, when they're still in the shell. I really hope I can find that somewhere, maybe in a health store. Raw peanuts is a superfood for yogis. Hemp seeds have some of the most, um, has a variety of minerals and nutrients the body needs that are hard to get at other places. It's one of the most nutritious food. Same with spirulina. Extremely nutritious. Like, I don't want to be an animal abuser like you. So whatever science proves, I'm happy not to abuse animals. And yeah, Flack, if you're an average person, which you are, I'm sure, that's where you should go. You're an average person. Hmm. I haven't seen hemp seeds here. Another small thing you can do is the kind of clothes that you wear. So, my friends, my challenge to you is to go to your um, nice. To go to your closet, look at the labels of your shirt, and if there's anything that's polyester, you want to throw it away. You don't donate it, you throw it in the garbage. Even 20% polyester needs to be tossed in the trash. Polyester is plastic. I think we all agree that going away from plastic is something we need to do. But having that being said, you go to the supermarket and you buy plastic clothing. That's completely insane. So when I first discovered that polyester is plastic, I went into my closet. I searched every single piece of my clothing, from my underwear to my socks to my shirts, jackets, everything. Whatever was polyester, I put it in a plastic bag and I threw it in the trash. I don't want some poor people to wear it. I just need it to be gone. Now, where I buy clothes, I look at the label behind, and if it says polyester, even 5% polyester, I'm not buying it, no matter how good it is. The only clothes that I keep that are still polyester is jackets, like winter jackets, because it wouldn't make sense for me to throw it away. It'll last for a long time, and it's not in close contact with my skin. So unethical blood strike was not a reasonable ban to make, because then I think that was uh, okay, but you didn't ban it for like 10 hours. It's good. Yeah, spamming is not allowed here. So you should wear clothes that are conducive to your health, like cotton, for example. Cotton is very conducive for your health. So choose to wear cotton clothing, clothes that are made from linen and other natural materials, not made from animals. Not banned, time out. Hemp cloth, absolutely. That would be fantastic. So polyester is something you don't want to support. Next time you go to the store, look at the label and don't buy plastic clothing. We need to abandon plastic from the planet. So don't buy plastic. Is that a very rural place? It looks, your mind explains why, the location, please. So your mind explaining why it's in that location, please. I'm not sure what you mean. This is rural. This is away from the city, but it's close enough to the city that you can travel here. So I'm not sure what you mean, Jack. Maybe you'll have to expand it again. Okay, no problem, Zed. I had no idea what polyester was plastic. I learned something today. Nice. So CJ, at the very least, next time you're buying clothes, look at the labels, especially things that are coming in contact with your skin. You don't want to have plastic coming in contact with your skin. It's toxic, synthetic. It's not a good thing to do. And it will make you more peaceful. Yogis say also that your clothes should be breathable. This is not the ideal size to wear. It's the ideal size to wear for me for the aesthetics of it, that it looks like it fits me. But if I had it my way, I would get an extra large because the looseness of it is what I need. I need to be able to breathe and for minimum contact to be made with the skin. That's how your energy is able to expand and you become more intelligent. Exactly. It's an endocrine disruptor. Absolutely. Sadhguru said that children under the age of 12 or 16 or something should never, ever touch synthetic clothing. It's so harmful for them. Oh, okay. Um, yeah. This is far enough from the city that it's peaceful, but close enough that people can drive here. But primarily the reason why this place was built here is because of the mountain that's close by. The mountain is significant because Shiva, this person here, the first yogi, he trekked up this mountain and energized it, consecrated it. It became very energized. So I'll show you the mountain. Maybe you can perceive the spiritual significance of it or perceive the energy of it. So here, I'll show you. When I trek this mountain and make a video of it, it will become much more easily apparent why it's the way it is. It's hugely energetic. Absolutely. This is in Coimbatore, South India. Isha Yoga Center, it's called. It's Sadhguru's ashram. Hmm. Not a stone in my pocket as a souvenir, but the energy has to go into me. And that will be more of a souvenir that is a stone. I want the energy of the space to go in. I can keep that. A stone is something that I'll forget. I'll put it in my room and forget about it. Do they have many accommodation places available in that area? I'd love to go there. Yes, they do. In fact, they have accommodations inside the yoga center as well. So, but you need to get initiated first. Attend inner engineering. You can do this online now. If you go to innerengineering.com, you complete Sadhguru's process. And then you can stay inside the ashram, which is the best. Second best is staying somewhere nearby. There's many places. I'm staying in a nice Airbnb. Exactly. Energy farming. Yeah. Thank you. Nice. Thanks. What are the benefits of inner engineering course? The main benefit is you learn a meditation technique called Shambho Mahamudra. It's a combination of 7 yogic practices that lead you to intense bliss and ecstasy. So you'll learn that technique, you'll become initiated into it, and other lessons will be taught, but that's the main benefit. So you can go to the website, Inner Engineering, sign up. Nirvana is the ultimate goal. Yes, but that's probably a while away. You have to practice for that. So David says he's been initiated, and it was a significantly beneficial experience. Nice. Very good. It's worth it. Adiyogi was a vegetarian. He ate no meat. He didn't support animal abuse. Can we be functional when we are ecstatic? That's a good question. Sadhguru says no. The more ecstatic you are, the less functional you are. Because you're just in a ecstatic place. You don't really care about the world. Things need to be done, jobs need to do. You're just floating. But a little bit of ecstasy, or even a lot of ecstasy, is good. It will help you to do your work. So the best thing to do is be peaceful, be happy, be ecstatic, and that makes your work very easy. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, Jem. Hello, Desiree. Data engineering online. It is the best yoga course out there for beginners. Yes. So Zan approves. The best yoga course for beginners. Hello, Azam. Welcome. So we want to have a tinge of ecstasy. A tinge of ecstasy will help you to go through the day in a lubricated way. Just peaceful. No matter what happens, you're ecstatic. So a tinge of ecstasy is needed. Thank you, Desmond. Desmond, welcome back. Nice backdrop. Yep, thanks. This is not a green screen. I didn't do the online course. I only did the offline course, and it was a significant experience, absolutely. But that's not really available now. I was initiated by Sadhguru himself. It was quite a powerful experience. But online course is just as good in terms of the results. You want to get initiated and you want to practice. Nice. Freemason, Sadhguru Freemason. I don't know. He talked about it. He said no. So I'm not sure. I recommend that you go online to Inner Engineering and you sign up for a course today. And you do it. It'll change your life. It'll be fantastic, fantastic results. David with the $5 mango fund. Thank you very much, David. Yes, isn't it? Absolutely. This is certainly going to go towards the mango fund. The mangoes are here are different, unique. Every place is unique, but good also. So that's going to give me a lot of mangoes. Thank you for that, David. I appreciate it. All right, ethical blood strike. You're stuck in skepticism and superstition and victimhood. Do the work, unethical blood strike. Do the work. Go get initiated. Go make your life better instead of complaining about Freemasons. Let them cut stones. Masonry is needed. Is Adi Yogi a piece of art? Yes. He's also a representation of the first yogi, the person that lived. The first yogi lived something like 60,000 years ago or 80,000 years ago. That's how long he's been here. Yes, the course is well worth it. It is like you saying, well, $200 is how much it'll cost for me to install a well in my house or well in my backyard. Is it worth it? Absolutely. You'll have a limitless reservoir of water that you can draw from. Am I sponsored? I wish I was. Uh, Maybe in the future I will be. I'm only sponsored in wanting to do good, beneficial things that have massive impact in people's lives, and I'll directly benefit from the good karma. So yes, Shiva, all the donations come when you don't ask. How great is that? People love seeing and learning these things. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Uh, I will not ask. I said in the yeah, Zen says I hesitated to do inner engineering for years. When I finally did, I regretted not having it done earlier. So it's very useful, very beneficial. It will change your life for sure. Yep. Good morning. Welcome. If it's $100, then you absolutely must do it. I thought it was like $200. So definitely, definitely go and do it. And it's an energy experience. You'll get initiated into an energy process. It's not just a simple thing you can learn online. It's not like that. It is like a transference of fire. You can't just learn it somehow. It's an actual, tangible, spiritual experience. Yes. Yes, Desmond, you should do it. Yes, it does. Yes. So if you buy it, I will ship it out myself in the next couple of days when I go back. You'll receive it maybe in the beginning of May. Yeah. Okay. It's 100 euros in Europe, at least. I don't know about the other places. Okay. Jacqueline, thank you very much for your $8 Australian. See another donation, and I rarely donate to channels. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jacqueline. That means a lot. You saying that means a lot. And yeah, I'm genuinely here to bring people value. So I'm very happy I can do this and receive donations. Many blessings to you. And thank you for blessing my life. Thank you for your donation. Jacqueline 3337. Four threes. I will, Shivang. I'll make a deity, absolutely. But a lot more skill and competence is required for that. And also resources. Not something simple you can do. Yeah. But does it stay or is it like a gym membership, which rarely has lasting impact? That's a good question also. The process of initiation is like you getting crossed in fire. That will be a permanent change in you. Yeah, I know going into a fire is bad, but it's, you'll know what fire is like. It'll be fire. And then after, you can cultivate this fire. The more you practice, the more you cultivate. It's not something you learn. This requires a kind of a fire initiation. And once you have the spiritual energy, you're now, yeah, you can now work with it. You can now wield it. And you do this practice for a minimum of 40 days initially. It is like when I first started it in 2019, when I got initiated by Sadhguru, I did it every day, twice a day, for 40 minutes each time. It takes 40 minutes to do once. So I devoted more than an hour to do this twice a day for 9 months because it was so good. I couldn't stop doing it. I couldn't even think of not doing it. It was so beneficial. It was like sweet. It was like me eating fruits. Like nobody could stop me from doing it. That's how good it is. The more threes, the better. Three is a very sacred, special number. Jesus, the 33rd year, 33 vertebrae. 33 is one of the most potent spiritual numbers. 33 names of the goddess that is chanted here in the Isha Yoga Center for Linga Bhairavi. 33. It's done consciously. 33 is a very significant number. I've not read the Tao. Nope. So it's definitely an NG experience, David says. During my initiation, over 1,000 people started screaming as they were demons possessed. Sadhguru was surprised. That usually doesn't happen. No comment. Actually, David, I think it is common. That happened to say exactly the same way when I was initiated. So Sadhguru was initiating us in person, and people were screaming because the Kundalini energy was rising. They couldn't handle it. They were screaming. Ah! It was quite the experience. So that's what happens when you get initiated. It's very good. The statue is made up of steel. I'm pretty sure. It's some kind of metal. and a lot of it. No, no, I haven't. See you later, Desmond. See you. See you next time. Yep, it is. It is, Jacqueline. So I hope you get to come here and visit one day. You'll get to experience it for yourself. This is part of the reason why I'm here as well, to inspire people for this. To go to South India, Coimbatore, and visit Sadhguru's ashram, Isha Yoga Center. This is just one small part, by the way. When you go inside the temples, which you can't film there, I can't film there, it is otherworldly. The energy is just so intense, so it will bring you to tears if you're receptive enough. It is like cosmic energy. One particular temple, the Dhanalinga, it's a sphere, it's like a dome or a big igloo. Inside there's a temple with actual structure. It's made of stone, granite, and it's been energized so powerfully. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you sit down, you'll just go into a state of a meditative experience. You'll go into a trance. You'll start connecting with the cosmos inside of yourself, inside of your mind. It's uh, it's so powerful. It's too powerful. This is just we're like 5%. We're just scratching the surface here. Imagine what it's like inside. When I come out of that place, my face looks different. My body feels different. So much more calmer. I'm sure I'll go as the sun sets. So I'll go and experience that place again. What is the difference between Hinduism and Buddhism? I know they are different yet similar. So when we say Hinduism, we can understand that Hinduism is a geographical location. So Hinduism or Hindustan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, other stans are geographical locations. Same with Hindustan. And the word Hindu comes from the Himalayan mountains in the north and the Indus Valley or the Indian Ocean in the south. These two is what makes the Hindu land. In the Hindu land is the sciences and discoveries people have made in the name of spirituality. So many discoveries people made. There was no one religion here. There's no one God. There's no one tradition. It's just a cascade of different things. And it's all seen as, okay, you're doing one thing, I'm doing another thing. We're both going towards the same thing, but in different ways. The Buddha, how does the Buddha relate to this? Well, he's one part of Hinduism. He was born in Hindu land. He discovered his own techniques, and he shared that. So Hindu land offers lots of spiritual sciences, technologies. Yes, it is Shiva, yes. It's 112 feet tall. Very big statue. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you. Yeah. Power bank. Yep. How long have you been in India? I've been in India for a little over a week now. 1 week. Not that long, but not that short either. Yes, I charge my phone to 100% before I leave, and I also have a power bank. Our children, welcome there. Was looking there, don't see any behind. Yes, children are welcome. Everyone is welcome. No matter what religion you are, what ethnicity you are, you can come and you can meditate here. Yes, Pippa and I are still friends. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus Christ saves. Definitely does. Welcome, Deep Stream Flow, a good friend of mine, someone that's visiting the Isha Yoga Center as well very soon. Someone you should subscribe to and see the Isha vlogs. Someone who I've spent time in Bali physically. I've seen him in person. Welcome in. How are you doing? Mm. This depicts Shiva, the first yogi. The first yogi to teach spirituality or teach yoga to people. Welcome, Empire. Yes, the traditional Hindu attire is very beautiful, very comfortable, very aesthetic also. Did you make it to India? Yes, I am in India right now. I'm in Coimbatore, South India, in Isha Yoga Center, Sadhguru's ashram. The moon represents intoxication. The first crescent moon is representing bliss, stillness, intoxication, rapture. So he has a kind of a half moon because he's blissed out. The moon makes you do that, especially the full moon. Can you explain why a lot of symbolic images of Shiva have the full moon and half the moon? Well, I don't know much about this. I just know what Sadhguru says, and Sadhguru says it is about intoxication. It is about bliss. Yeah. So full moon is intense, sheer intensity. And new moon is like stillness, or no moon is stillness, peace. When it's slightly starting to come out of that, it's like, yeah, I don't know, but that's what it represents. Yeah. It's wonderful being here. It's wonderful. It's very peaceful, very calming, ecstatic, blissful, very conducive for spiritual growth. Yeah. David says, I'm so quote stoned right now in a positive way. Vegan toast and breakfast, raining, sitting here with Shiva and Adi Yogi. Fantastic way to start the day. Yes, thank you very much, David. I highly appreciate being here. And it makes me happy that you're enjoying this. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, David. Yes, I have a screensaver of Shiva, and it has half a moon and a full moon. Love it. Thanks for explaining that. You're welcome. What is a common meal there? Unfortunately, I've not been inside to experience the meals inside the yoga center. But from what I've seen, it's lots of cooked vegetables or lightly cooked, and some kind of grain, either lentil or things like that. Rice, maybe a fruit, a couple of fruits, a banana and watermelon. So very alive food, very easy to digest, simple, and high in nutrition. Very nutritional. I'm sure one day I'll go into the yoga center and experience what it's like. No, they don't eat slop. They eat really good food, really good for the body. Yes. People that have been to the yoga center have said that it is the best food they've ever eaten. Most nutritional, healthiest, beautiful, positive energy. And when they left, they said that the one thing they're going to miss the most is the food. I've not tasted the food yet, but you can see videos of the food if they cook inside. It is. It looks like it'd be very easy to digest. Gio's still streaming. He got big Buddha power. Yes. India is just a bunch of masala and no gem. No. All this one. Although it is a problem that in India the culture doesn't value washing your hands as much or using toilet paper. You can understand what that means. It's a little bit of a shame. Can I ask if you have thoughts on food and rations and radiation such as microwave? Oh yes. So one thing I plan to do when I come back to Canada is buy a EMF reader to measure EMF radiation. Phone, my computer, just general EMF radiation in my room, and from other things like my stove and cookware. One thing that I've seen recently on a Instagram reel is one person buying this EMF reader and going and turning on the microwave. The moment they turn on the microwave, the EMF spikes beyond the normal levels, like dangerous levels. And even when they walk away basically to the other side of the room, the EMF reader doesn't change much. It's just basically radiating the entire room. That's one thing. Another thing, Sadhguru says that uh, microwaving is not a good thing to do. It's a bad thing that you're doing. So instead of microwaving the food, there's very easy ways to reheat the food. Well, you shouldn't be eating reheating food in the first place. But if you absolutely must, you can pour boiling water into a pot and steam the food using a steamer. You can very quickly reheat the food that way. But Sadhguru also says that a person shouldn't eat cooked food after it has been cooked for 4 hours, meaning a maximum of 4 hours. Actually, not even 4 hours. A maximum of 1.5 hours or a minimum of 1.5 hours. I'm butchering this. So, some woman is abusing a child here, slapping him in the face. A food is cooked. So you cook tomatoes and spaghetti. Within 1.5 hours, you should eat it. No more than 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, it should be thrown away. But some foods can be done up to 4 hours, but definitely nothing over 4 hours. So if you cook something, you should eat it right then and there, and not past that. Yes, microwaves. Not the best thing. What version of Shiva is that head? It's the intoxicated Shiva. Yeah, AirPods as well. Not something you want to do. I'm not sure if it's placebo, but sometimes I shower and I've put on AirPods. It's like I could feel it. It's not good. Whenever you are in a place that you want to absorb the energy more, like a temple, for example, like I'm here, you want to shower and keep your body wet. When your body is wet, you will be able to absorb the energy much easier. Do you think people are awakening to nature, the nature slash the world? Sir, if that's a deep question. Not at all. Yes, I do think that people are awakening to the nature of reality and to the world, but it's happening slowly, which is I don't like. I think it's happening more frequently now in the past couple of years with the pandemic and the Epstein files, but it's still quite slow. It needs to, we need to speed it up. We all need to practice spirituality and gather this energy so that we can be of use for others. Paladin Morningstar says, dumb, calls me a grifter. Paladin Morningstar is representing the devil or Lucifer. So I can't expect anything from a person that has a mind like that. That's not just negativity and hatred. Hello. Yeah, absolutely. Let's make it happen. I don't know, Flack. What if? You listen to Tupac? Not frequently, not regularly, but I've heard a few songs of his. After this live stream is over, I'm going to go back home. But before that, I'll visit a fruit store and I will buy many bananas, maybe 20 bananas or more. And I'll be eating those bananas today. The bananas that are here are the best bananas in the world. They have different varieties of bananas. One variety is the best in the world. Taste that I've ever tasted. It's like it's just too good. So good. So sweet, so ripe, so juicy, delicious. Really, really good. What was that fruit you were on last stream? I missed it. It was called ash gourd, or sometimes it's called as winter melon. Winter melon. One of the most chronic food in the world. Thoughts on the Agori Sadhus? Hindu, Lord Shiva, and a live cult. I think that it's a hard path. I don't recommend it. Epstein was very spiritual. Unlikely. Spiritual people rarely hurt others. That's the kind of a metric of spirituality. The more spiritual you could become, the more empathy you have with your life around you. And naturally, you don't want to cause harm to others, animals or otherwise. So, yep. Karma, cause and effect. Yes. The mercy you extend is the mercy you receive. Absolutely. Absolutely. So be kind to others. It comes back to you always. Okay, humanitarian. Honest question. Do you ever get scared traveling alone? Like there's things people should be cautious of? Yes. If, as a woman especially, you should be more cautious traveling. I am sometimes scared or cautious, especially with my belongings. I don't want to get robbed. So when I leave my apartment or leave my Airbnb, I'm conscious that people know where I stay. Maybe they think that I'm a Westerner, I have money, and they might want to try to rob me, which is not what I want. But in terms of physical safety, I've only been concerned for my physical safety once in Australia, in Darwin, Australia. There were lots of native people there. They were struggling a lot. And one of them tried to attack me. So I just ran away. I'm okay with my worldview being challenged. Why not? One native person in Darwin tried to murder the other one out of rage. It was both females. They were like in their 40s, overweight, a very dark skin, native Australians. Aboriginal people. And these women were fighting amongst each other on the sidewalk. And it was right next to a busy street. There was maybe like 7 other native people around them, or a total of 7 maybe. And one woman got on top of the other woman, mounted her. The other one was on her back, and she took her head and she started hitting her head, the back of her head against the concrete. I was right there. I was walking beside that. And as I saw that, I knew that maybe 1 or 2 more hits and she was going to be dead. This is like attempted murder. She's gonna be killed. So I pushed everyone aside and I instantly put my foot underneath her head and the concrete so that it'd be a bit of a cushion. And so as she hit the head 1 more time, it hit my foot. The shock was absorbed. And then I pushed the other one. I screamed very loudly, like, get off. They got off. I called the police. And the police, when they picked up, it was like a regular occurrence. Oh, yeah, okay, it's happening? Okay. Where is it happening? Oh, really? Okay. Does the other person have an ankle monitor? It sounded like it was just a routine thing that happens every day, which it does. The native people there are really struggling badly. So I prevented a person from getting murdered. I had blood all over my shorts. And I went back and I was a little bit traumatized. Like, what the hell happened? How can a person do that to somebody else? So that's what happens when you act out of rage. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, okay, you're from Australia as well. Makes sense. Yeah, Australia is beautiful. One of the most beautiful countries I've visited. Physical beauty, energetic beauty, spiritually. So much sunlight, ocean, amazing. Is there anything relevant to the stream name that actually happened on stream? Yes, Into the Void. So I've been streaming for more than 2 hours now. The first hour or so was me talking about various techniques and tips on how you can be more peaceful. So you can search that up. Yes. Lots of techniques I gave on being peaceful, spiritual techniques. Yeah, shark attacks too. Thank you, old wizard. Yeah, that's also shocking. Australia was one big prison at one point. How long are you in India? I'm here for 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. You don't worry about sharks in the ocean. Sharks have to worry about you because you're an old wizard. Shark attacks are actually very rare, yeah. Unless you do something very dangerous like swim very far out or go fishing next to in the water or are not aware, something can happen. But generally, swimming in the coast or on the beach is pretty safe. I remember a video of a man swimming in Sydney, and he was swimming past people that were fishing, and he got killed by a great white shark. I feel that we are entering their territory. Is their place, their rules? Yeah, absolutely. When you enter the ocean, it's fish. Fish is home. They're just a visitor. And you're welcome there to a certain extent, but don't overstay your welcome. Stingrays, yeah. Do you drink the local water in India? Are you concerned about water? I did drink local water for the last 2 days, and I got sick from it. So I don't recommend it. Just get bottled water instead. But I shower regularly. I brush my teeth with like tap water. No problem with that. I've done that with Bali. I've done that everywhere. So I'm not concerned with that. Yep. Yeah. Australia is home to some of the most venomous creatures in the world. It has the most dense, concentrated, venomous population in the world. The most venomous spiders, snakes, fish, insects. There's something called as a blue-ringed octopus. It's a tiny little thing. It has blue rings in his body. Tiny little octopus.
When intensity peaked, he became utterly still. People saw that he was experiencing dimensions that no one had ever known, able to fathom. His ecstasy and intensity allowed him to transcend his physical form, witnessing an individual human in union with the cosmos. They called him a yogi, as he was the first one, the Adi Yogi.
So this little blue-ringed octopus, if it touches you, you're dead. Something called a stonefish. It looks like a stone, but it's a fish. It, so I think this is it, my friends. I think this is the conclusion of our live stream. I'm going to choose to go home now. It's getting darker. Uh, and yeah, it seems good. Seems good to be here. I'm going to go back while it's still light. Buy some fruits. Maybe I'll do a live stream with Dr. Rob. Who knows? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me. And what else is there to say? How did I keep it silent? What's happening? It's a light show that's happening. It happens every night. Anything else, my friends? Anything else you want to discuss or ask? Otherwise, I'm going to choose to go. Okay, I'll say a little louder. Change the audio filter. Voice isolation. Speakers, okay. So yeah, Australia has lots of fish, like stonefish. It looks like a stone. It sits next to the shore where stones are. And its defense is that it has spikes in the spine. If you step on it, the spikes go through your feet, and then you die in agonizing pain. People have said it's the most excruciating pain they've ever experienced. And then you die. There's the most venomous snakes there, like the taipan, Australian taipan, I think it's called. It has venom enough to kill 200 people. One bite can kill 200 humans if it goes into their bloodstream. That's not good. In Sydney, there's a venomous spider that just is very common.
Namaskar. Adiyogi Divya will begin shortly. We request you all to kindly move to the seating area.
நமஸ்காரம். ஆதியோகி திவ்ய தரிசனம் இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நேரத்துல ஆரம்பிக்க இருக்கு. எல்லாரும் சீட்டிங் ஏரியால வந்து அமருமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம்.
So, yeah. Okay, this is the conclusion of the live stream, my friends. Jacqueline, if you're here, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. I'm live streaming every day. My goal is to live stream at least 6 days a week for multiple hours. So as it happens, you'll get enough. Okay, I have too much. And I'm gonna go and meditate in the temple for a while and then go home. Are people resting or worshiping? They're meditating. Actually, I don't know what they're doing. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Jacqueline. Thank everyone for being here. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for helping me to fulfill my goal. My spiritual goal, even. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. And stay tuned next time. Tomorrow I'll be in a different atmosphere. I think you'll enjoy it as well. So, peace to you. You're welcome to rewatch the video if you joined too late. I talked a lot about peace and how to become peaceful and techniques to do that. So just rewind. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching, my friends. I'll see you next time.